welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new concept for you because I started watching Gilmore Girls again and I realized I have a lot to say about it in a lot of regards. So this is my new backdrop. I am making YouTube a favor and I put a post-it here, but I like this picture, so it will stay. And I have a concept for this little short series I plan to do. So I will talk about each season in a different video. So this video, since it's the first season. And except that my first note is that it's good banter, the first note is actually in episode 6, which I realized is my favorite episode of the whole first season. Oh, I'm sorry, if you don't know what Gilmore Girls is, maybe you won't find this video that interesting. But it's about a mother and a daughter lives in a small town, is not that well acquainted with the grandparents, and then the daughter needs to go to a fancy school to get into the fancy college and to get to her dream job. So they have to borrow money, which means they need to go to their grandparents every Friday night for dinner if they're gonna pay for the tuition. And it's about the town and where Lorelai works, it's the mother, and so on and so forth. They're very fast speakers. There's a lot of fast comments and funny references. You will never catch them all. Like, I didn't mean to do that, but you will never be able to know all the references, even people that are very invested in TV and series and stuff like that, and books even. And yeah, music too. Not even those people understand all the references, but it's a fun show. You should try it out. So now for the people that know about the show and actually just want to hear my opinion about the show, here we go. So episode 6 is my favorite because the pudding that Lorelai keeps bringing up during the whole episode, it's very funny, and it's the first time that Lorelai actually feels like her mother has listened to them. It's very nice. Even if Lorelai often says that, oh, my mother doesn't understand me and she doesn't listen to me, in this episode Emelie actually listened. Sure, they had a fight, but she actually took something from the fight, which for me was very nice, and I like it. I know it was a fight, but it was a productive fight, and I liked it a lot. Oh yeah. This has the most heartbreaking line in the whole series, I think. It's when they've been to Rory's party that she has at home in her house, and they're leaving, and Emelie and Richard is sitting in the car, and Emelie drops the line, "She was right," and Richard asks, "What do you mean? What's about what?" And she's like, "I don't know, my daughter." And that line just stings. It hurts. You can really feel how sad she is about it, how devastated she is about that she actually doesn't know her daughter. And it's also it speaks volumes to Richard's character, because a lot of characters in TV series and movies and stuff like that, the dad is very stoic, very into his work, cares more about his work than his wife, isn't that caring or understanding in a lot of situations. And this moment just really tells me that he sees Emelie and that he listens to her, and that he can feel when she's not feeling well or when something's wrong. And I love it. The line is also heartbreaking, but he's just the best life partner for Emelie, and that is something that carries through the whole 7 seasons, I think. It's the more you watch, the more you love Richard and Emelie as a couple. They may not be the best parents, and they may not be able to communicate well with their daughter, but they as a couple is just the most adorable thing ever. They're just so caring and about each other, and they just want the best for the other person, and they're listening to each other and tries to just love their partner and just tries to do the best. And that is just so refreshing and so nice to see, even if they don't get along with Lorelai that well. Just seeing them being that amazing couple is a wonder and just lovely. The next thing I have on my list is also Emelie and Richard related. It's in episode 10 when Richard has just had a heart attack, I think it's a heart attack, I'm not sure. And they're in the hospital and he's like, yeah, you need to call my lawyer, the papers are here, and all the accounts we have and stuff like that are in this drawer, and Emily's just not having it whatsoever. She's like, no, won't listen. And Richard is so like, Emelie, we need to go through this, we need to do this. And she's like, no, I demand that I go first. And Richard is just so lovely, and he's like, yes, you may go first. And it's a sad scene because they're obviously talking about that Emelie would die before him, but the conversation they have and where it leads, and Emily's just, no, I won't have it, I won't take it. I have not lived without you on this earth for like 33 years, and I will not start now. So I will go first, because I will not live without you. Do you understand me? And he's like, yes, Emelie, yes, you may go first. And that again is just so telling of their relationship and how much they care for each other and love each other, at least in my opinion. And I just love it. I love it so much. Also in that episode, Luke drives Lorelai to the hospital, and he's there even though he hates hospitals. He feels so weird the whole time. He can't look at anything but his shoes or the ceiling, and it's just so loving of him to stay there even though he's so uncomfortable, and even though it's just not somewhere he would ever choose to be. So yeah, I think that's very sweet of him, and he's very sweet a lot when it comes to Lorelai, but I think that's sweet. Another thing I thought was very good that they brought up in this season is that Rory gets a boyfriend, Dean, and her best friend Lane feels like she doesn't have any time for her anymore, and it's actually a problem. And I feel like that is something that very easily happens, at least for me. When I fell in love for the first time and was really in love, like blindly in love, I didn't have time for my friends, or at least I didn't schedule to have time with them. I didn't offer them as much time as I should have, and I think it's very easy to just be blinded by your first love in a way that you can't see yourself. So I thought it was very good of them to like bring that up, that yeah, sure, you have a boyfriend and I know that it's lovely and wonderful, but I'm still here and we're still friends. You need to make room for me, you need to make time for me. And I think that was really good of the series to bring up that issue and that struggle of your best friend getting a boyfriend and her attention just going somewhere else, and it feels like she doesn't have time for you anymore. And Rory says that, well, Dean will just have to live with it. And Lane is like, yeah, but he wants to be with you. And she's like, yeah, but you came first. I was friends with before him, and he's just gonna have to live with it. and I thought that was very good. Very lovely. I know we're supposed to love Dean. Okay, we love Dean. At first. But I hate the episode where she gets a car, and it's the episode with the bonfire and stuff, and he tells her that he loves her, and she doesn't respond with the same answer at once, and he gets mad. The thing is, maybe I've just been very, very, very lucky, but the two first boyfriends I've had has said I love you to me before I said it to them, because for me it's a word that is just filled, it's just so heavy, it has so much meaning to me that it's not something I just throw away. I mean, I say I love you to my parents and to my siblings and to my best friends and stuff like that, but to people that are out of that circle, that is a very heavy word for me to say. It means a lot and it has a lot of weight. So the people I've said that to, who's not family or friends and stuff like that, they have been totally fine, or maybe not fine, but they haven't gotten upset or mad at me because I couldn't say it at the same time as them, and they did not break up with me over it. And I know he's like 16 and it's his first love, but I just think that is extremely childish, and I hate that reaction, because when you see it in television, you're telling the younger audience that it's okay to be upset over that, and it's okay to break up with someone if they're not ready to say I love you at the same time as you, because I don't think it is. It's okay for you to be upset. I mean, if you feel so strongly for someone, obviously you wish that they feel the same about you. That is just natural. But it's also not okay to scream at someone for not having come to that feeling yet in the same time frame as you have. And when Lorelai finds out, that is my next subject on the list, when Rory runs from home for the first time and doesn't tell her mother, and she goes to her grandparents, which means she's safe, that's good, but she didn't tell Lorelai, she didn't leave a note, she didn't call to like leave a message that she's fine and she's at her grandparents, and she's 16. I mean, if I went from home now, my parents wouldn't be that worried. I'm 21, I can take care of myself, and I've been on my own since I was 15. They don't always know where I am, but if I'm at home and they think that's where I am, and I haven't told them where I'm going, yeah, they would wonder where I would be, and if I didn't check in like 24 hours, they would be worried. And I like that. But when Lorelai gets back and realizes that Rory isn't there, she's in a panic. Then she finds out from Emelie, because she calls and tells Lorelai that Rory is at their house. And the next day Lorelai gets there and they talk, and Rory is like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And Lorelai is like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not. I mean, I get not yelling at at your daughter the first thing you do when you find her, because that would maybe not be the best outcome, but just she's like repeating that it was okay that she ran from home because she was mad at her, and not telling her where she went. I don't think that's okay. That's not okay. You need to tell her, because you're 16 and not living on your own, and if you say you're gonna be somewhere and you're not there, and you're still not there after 3 hours, the people are going to worry if they're good people. And you should respect them enough to tell them why you're not there or where you are, and that you're fine. So I don't think it's fine that She's like, oh, it's okay, I know you were upset. No, I don't care if you were upset. Tell me that you're okay at least. I don't like it that much. Okay. But in episode 19, Lorelai apparently... Oh yeah, she had a fight with her parents, and she tells Rory on the way to the diner, Luke's diner, that, oh, I just wish that once, Emelie, that my parents listened to me, that they understood what I said just once. And I'm like, we've seen a lot of times in this season that she actually listens. Like, not in the way you want her to, but she actually hears you and takes it in and tries to do better. She's not always successful, neither is Lorelai, but we don't talk about that. I mean, she's the main character, she can't do anything wrong. So, and yeah, Emelie is set in her ways, and it's hard for her to change herself and her opinion and her thinking, but she tries, and we have seen it a lot of times that she has really put in effort to try to do better or try to change so that she will have a better relationship with her daughter. So the comment that, oh yeah, I just wish she would listen just once. No, you don't wish she would listen just once, because she has listened once and twice and a third time. She just didn't listen this time. So actually, you just want her to listen every time you have some opinion that you want to present. And I just think that shows a lot of Lorelai in herself, that she doesn't see the change. And sure, we as watchers see the change in a different light probably, but she has no self-reflection ever in this season, I think. Maybe some. But the comment of, I just wish you would listen once, is just ridiculous to me, because Emelie has listened a lot of one-timers, but that doesn't count because she didn't listen this time. And I just think that shows that Lorelai doesn't see the changes that Emelie actually does, or the try that she does, or yeah, I just think it's a little selfish to say like, oh, I wish she would just listen once. She has listened, just not this time. So that means she never listens and hasn't done anything nice the last half year, or I don't know how much time passes, but I just think it's ridiculous. I know that this is something you learn with time, but there's a reason for that people break up. And in the last episode, Rory and Dean gets together again. And they're 16, so it's logical that they would get together, break up, get together, break up. But with the time, you just learn that you broke up for a reason. Even if it's stupid, it's a reason that doesn't go away. And in this case, it's a misunderstanding or lack of willingness to understand or wait. And that won't go away. The issue of Rory not being able to say I love you will go away because she said that she loved him, and that's why they're together again. So sure, that issue has gone away, but the issue that Dean will get mad every time Rory isn't in the same time frame as he is won't go away. Yeah, the problem of not being exactly in the same place, exactly at the same time, is not something that goes away. And not being able to handle that or accept that or understand that, that won't go away either. So, I don't like that they got back together. I get why they did it, but I don't like it. I think it was inevitable for them to break up again because it's 7 seasons and this is season 1 and they need to do something. She can't date the same guy for 7 seasons because this is the slice of life and it needs to happen something even in a slice of life series where nothing is happening. So yeah, I just don't like it. And Max proposes to Lorelai and I don't know, I just knew that wouldn't go through. I just knew that. So yeah, that is the recap of my thoughts of season 1. All in all, I think it's a good first season. It's wholesome, it's sweet, it lays out the groundwork for the problems to come, the banters we will hear, and the relationships in the town. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a good first season. I hope you liked my thoughts on the subject, and I hope to see you in the next one where we will talk about season 2. Have a good day. Bye!